Alright, welcome back everyone. Today we're jumping straight into the swamp. I'm going to be designing the three things Shrek uses in the opening scene of the movie. So we're going to do some mud shower gel, some slug toothpaste and eyeball cereal. Let's get into this. Now for part one, I'm only designing the mud shower gel because honestly it's the least disturbing one. The other two, yep, we will tackle those. They have already been tackled, but in part two. I'm not emotionally prepared to show you guys edible eyeballs just today. Anyway, we are going to start off here by drawing the slime that I want on top of the shower gel bowl. So we're just going to start to trace all of the slime out and then eventually give it a good green colour and just get that all filled in. Now we're just going to give this a bit of a warp so it fits the shampoo container a bit better. There we go. And now we're going to add that green colour that I was just talking to you about. So I'm going to change the outline from black to the same green colour and just fill in all these nooks and crannies, and we'll do the same here. Just fill that in and then clean up any edges that may need to be. Gonna change our main shampoo colour here to a brown, so hue and saturation layer, change the hue, change the lightness, change saturation just until we get where we need to be. So after looking at it, I'm actually not interested in this big green blob down here. So we're going to get rid of that completely. Now to just give this slime a bit more character, we need to change it from this one dark green. So I'm going to add a gradient overlay here, get a couple of greens that I'm interested in, just to give it that pop so it isn't so much of an eyesore. And talking about pop, I'm also going to add a bevel and emboss layer just to make sure it looks like 3D slime coming out of the packaging, not just a flat sticker stuck on top. Now at the moment it's just looking like green paint, so what I need to do is come in and paint some slimy bubbles. Now for this I'm going to change the size of my brush and design one big bubble just to save us some time here. We're going to find the same green and we are just going to add the highlights and the shadows, and then I will get a slightly lighter green for the highlights here, and then we'll do the same slightly darker green for any of the shadows. And then we're going to add in a little white reflection mark. We're going to size those down, copy and paste them, just saving so much time. And now we have all the bubbles done, we're going to move on to the text. So we've got to give this a nice little name here. I'm thinking Swamp Fresh, because it completely contradicts itself. So now we've got that on the bottle. I've made it this yellow colour, but I'm not really feeling it. I want to keep the earthy tones, but we will come back to that yellow a bit later on. So what we're just going to do is match the brown that we have on the back of the bottle, change it ever so slightly so it looks like it is engraved into the mud and dirt. And then we're also going to find a font that matches this sort of style. And once again, to stop it from being so flat, we're going to add a bevel and emboss. We're going to change the greeny colours to the browns, just to make it look like it is really coming out of that muddy swamp. Now there's a lot of empty space between the word swamp and the word fresh, so we're just going to tweak the design here, bit of warp, a bit of movement, a bit of skew, just to really get it to fit that entire bottle. Now we need to let people know what the product actually is. So I've got the mud shower gel here, where I'm going to find a different font because it's not too in your face. What we want to know is the brand logo mainly, so we need a different font just for the product itself. So we've made that a beigey kind of colour, added a stroke just so you can see it on the brown background, and then we're going to bring in that yellow from earlier and write exactly what it's made out of. So in this case it is infused with real bog mud. So I got rid of the slime at the bottom earlier so we can fit all this text on. And now I want to bring it back, doing the same as what we did on the top of the bottle. I'm going to add some slime splatters and do the exact same thing with the bubbles on top. So I'm just going to shut up now and just let you watch the final tweaks of the product. And we're just going to fill in these here for the final touch, and there's our final product, Swamp Fresh Bog Infused Shower Gel. Now, if you enjoyed this and want to see the other 2 designs that I've come up with, make sure to leave that in the comments below and give us a like. But thanks for watching.